Hey guys, welcome to session number 19 of the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. Ding! One man with one microphone, whose favorite actor of all time is Jim Carrey. Welcome to the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. Today I want to cover something which I've probably already covered, to be honest with you, but I think it deserves repeating, yes. And that is when you just can't be bothered. What to do when you can't be bothered. Now, the reason I'm doing this episode now and today is because, you know what? I had one of those days yesterday. And it kind of made me sort of sit and think, because, you know, I've got a bit of a reputation of having a big output, working not so many hours and outputting quite a lot of music. But that doesn't mean that I don't get those days. And yes, I know I could have ploughed on through that mood. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast today, because I think sometimes it's really important to listen to yourself. Sometimes it's really important to be like, you know what? I can't be bothered, I'm going to do something else. And that's really, really important. And the reason it is because you are listening to yourself. Because sometimes there's levels of it. Sometimes you can't be bothered just because, you know, it's almost like a kind of the idle sort of 14-year-olds can't be bothered, which is based in insecurity. Like, I can't be bothered because I'm scared I won't do a very good job. Which, you know, I talk about in the Inner Critic podcast episode. Sometimes there's the I can't be bothered because I don't really have any direction. And, you know, maybe I should do a goal setting one, because that's a really important one. And that's a valuable note to take here. If you can't be bothered because you are directionless, then you need to use that time to set yourself a direction. No, I won't do that one today. I want to do today the be kind to yourself. You can't be bothered because, you know what? You're just knackered. And the reason I say about listening to yourself there, it comes back down to the inner critic again. Because when you're tired, you tend to be more negative and more critical and more, you know, more of that bully from school pops up. You know, all those mean things that people have said to you over the years, they just suddenly magically appear in your mind. Or maybe that's just me. Anyway, you just can't be bothered because you're knackered. You are exhausted. You are wiped out. And I'm talking to myself yesterday. And I made the mistake of trying to carry on. Even though I knew that any work I produced would be shot down. Or, which is what happened, I would open a project, listen, open another project, listen, open another project, listen. So it kind of fell into a couple of camps there. I.e. they're kind of like, I didn't really have the direction yesterday, which was brought about by exhaustion. And, you know, whatever brings about the exhaustion in your life, whether it's, well, I don't need to list those things. There's so many things, aren't there? I think it's really important to listen to yourself and be kind. Richard, be kind to yourself. And that's one of the reasons I've started doing the podcast, Walking Around in the Woods, which admittedly means that sometimes it's windy and you won't hear me quite so well and the quality's not so great, but yeah, I don't care. I love walking in the woods, and it's my time to be, I say alone. I do have my daughter asleep on me. She's only 5 months now. But it's just really nice. I'm being kind to myself. I mean, I could be more kind and just not do this and just walk and enjoy the woodland, but I like to do these podcasts. It feels nice. It feels reassuring. So I want you to bear this in mind in the next few days. When you sit down to do your work, and really listen to yourself. Some of you might be sitting down and working and being like, yes, this is awesome, I'm loving this, and that's great. That is my place most of the time. But sometimes I get to this place, which is I'm exhausted. There's a lot on my plate. I'm not getting as much sleep as I'd like, and I end up not producing anything and feeling like I waste my time and beat myself up. And then, obviously there's critics that sort of arrive. So what do you do in those situations? And this comes down to, again, the inspiration thing episode I have, and the book I have on inspiration as well, which is like understanding that sometimes to do the thing you want, you need to do something else. Yesterday, I should have taken this sage advice of my own, and it's very easy for me to say this now because I'm taking my own advice right now. I should have taken the advice of being like, you know what, you're tired, do something else. And I fall back on a kind of a list of things that I can do that cheer me up, usually exercise or meditating. Or watching some awesome TV show, although that usually gets me excited, and then wants to start me writing, which is the point of it. So you want to have like a list. It's like your mini saviour list, your list of things to do when you can't be bothered because you're exhausted. And to be quite honest, the top of the list really should be nap, but I just had a coffee, so I didn't think there was any point. It was that kind of like wired and tired moment for me. So you go through this list, and I advocate this in my little book. I advocate this generally to myself, unless I ignore myself because I'm too excited and confused and tired and all sorts going on. Basically, my brain was going a million miles an hour and my body didn't want to. You have this list, and I should have gone to my list yesterday. I should have had that nap, but I didn't. I should have meditated, but I didn't. I would have gone to the gym, but I'd gone the night before. And I felt like I should be working. And that's the danger. Should. That's the naughty word. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Should's horrible. Should's a mean word. And it sounds, if I keep saying should, it starts to sound like a swear word. You shoulding, get out of the world of shoulds and get into the world of what can I do different? And I did that this morning. I woke up this morning and I was like, right, I'm going to learn from yesterday. Yesterday I tried to work and I ended up just being mean about my existing work. So I'm not doing anything. I did a couple of things, replied to some emails, which I can't exactly say makes me feel like I've achieved a lot. But this morning I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to tidy up. Because I knew that tidying would get me out of this place. And I have to say, it worked. Because this morning, I wouldn't have thought to myself I was going to be doing any podcasts today. I wasn't in that place where I'd be free to talk without criticising myself. I didn't want to be in that place where I end up having to press stop and re-recording it over and over again. Tidying, clearing the clutter is just awesome. I'm not going to get all Marie Kondo on you, although that's an awesome show / book. It's just one tool I use to help me when I don't feel like writing. Because you don't have to be writing all the time. That's the beauty of what we do. And I have to remind myself this all the time. I don't have to be writing all the time. I mean, so like I said, I got some trailers recently, and one of them was from an album I released. Elephant Music released, blimey, 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Yeah, it's a long time ago now. And I'm still getting work from that. And that paid a really decent amount of money. That was like, 5 figures something, Awesome. Great news. I don't need to work all the time because my Give Back catalogue and the publisher, thank you Vic, and all the people at Elephant and Mammoth, thank you for working for me. And that's why they take their cut, because whilst we're not writing, they're working. And that's why it's important to get into the habit of being kind to yourself, of making time for yourself. I know this is slightly turning into more of a sort of a lifestyle podcast, isn't it, really? But I think it's really important. Nobody teaches you this stuff. Well, maybe they taught you, I don't know. Nobody taught me this stuff of being a creative. Everyone was like, yeah, follow your dream. Not everyone. My mum and my wife. Yeah, follow your dreams. Do what you want, then you get to the point where you're doing what you want and you're following your dreams and you're doing it. You're successful. And then you go, oh, wait, but I still have down days and I still have up days and life still gets in the way and I still feel overwhelmed by washing and all that stuff. So it's so important that you have the tools available to you to make your life feel balanced. And this comes back to the episode on success as well. I think successful life is a balanced life. A little bit of everything, a lovely pick and mix of delights. I don't want a life where I'm writing music all the time. I don't want a life where I'm not writing music all the time. I want a life where I'm doing lots of things I enjoy. And I forget to take advantage of the main advantage of being a freelance composer. And that is, you can work whenever you want, wherever you want, however much you want. You don't have to work today. And of course, I'm not advocating you say that every day. I'm advocating you use that as part of your balanced lifestyle, whilst eating bran flakes and Rivitas. No, I'm saying and this is, like I said, I'm talking to myself here as well. I'm not standing on an ivory tower going, you guys suck and I am awesome. I'm saying, hey, you know what, guys? Even when you're doing the thing that you wanted to do for ages, life can be hard too sometimes, and even that comes in the form of just like having a down day. Have a duvet day, guys. Take some time to chill out. Go spend the time with your family. Have a nap. Go to the gym. Meditate. Go have an energy healing, pranic healing. Whatever it is. Go bungee jump. Go draw some moss. I'm going to start listing all the things I like now. Go build a stone castle out of flat stones from the beach. Go surfing. Make sure that you always set time aside for those things. Because also, that will keep your vibration, your energy levels up, which will feed back into your music. And that's what I did today. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to work. I'm going to do other things that support my mood so that I'm better equipped to work next time. Admittedly, I'm working now. But because I tidied my study this morning, and admittedly, an iPad Pro arrived in the post, which was pretty exciting. They all helped me, I guess, get out of the funk. And I wanted to share that with you, that you need, and I need, to make sure that you don't overwork yourself. And that you give yourself a break from music, because sometimes there's only so many horror tracks you can listen to. There's only so many times you can listen to your back end, and I don't mean like that. I mean there's only so many times you can listen to your huge third, fourth act, whatever it is you want to call it. Have some time off, have a break, have a Kit Kat, whatever it is. Take some time, guys, for yourself. That's you included, Rich. Now, if you already knew all this stuff and you're like, oh, give me some hard facts about mixing, Rich, you're probably in the wrong place, because I'm not going to do that here. Might do that on my YouTube channel, but I'm not going to do that here. It's more, I guess this is more like the life and times of trailer music composers. So, go and write a list of everything that you enjoy other than trailer music. Go write a list of all the things that lift you up, that you can do when you don't feel like writing. And I need to remind myself this too, that when you do those things, it feeds back into your writing and you come back a better composer, a well-rested composer. You read any productivity books, anything in your output, on quality of your output, and I'm talking physical and mental output, the first thing is sleep and rest. If you're not getting those, you're not going to work as well as you should do. So maybe I'll tell myself, go have a nap, Rich. So yeah, go grab a pen and paper, have a quick brainstorm, then go have a nap. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the podcast, guys. I I hope you got something out of it, even if it was the ability to have a nap whilst you listen to this, which would be a bonus actually, so cashback. Anyway guys, see you in the next episode, and thanks again. Awesome!